Welcome to We Need to Talk Now, presented by AT&T. I'm Alicia J, and I'm here with the Seattle Storm's Queen of Defense, Gabby Williams. Gabby, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Well, listen, I have been a fan of your career for many years, and people have watched your career in the W. Now, there's been some ups and downs. There's been some challenges for sure. And you have always bet on yourself, as you should in your career. There's been people that may not have bet on you in this process, in your career in the W. How important has it been for you to take control of your career and your narrative? And also, how is it translating into what we're seeing on the court right now?
Well, I think you said it perfectly. There have been people who have bet on me and people who haven't. And I think the key to my career has just been gravitating towards people who do believe in me. And not only just like, does that show statistically or in my performance, but just like mentally and my state of being, it's just a very nice place to be in, I think, when you just surround yourself with people who believe in you.
Yeah, I know you said that this is kind of like the first season where you kind of felt like you've had your grounding in the W. What has this year been like? I mean, obviously we see what it's like on the court, but just what has it been like for you personally?
It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, we've had some like ups and downs this season, but it's all just been growing pains, I think. I don't think we're trying to take it too negatively with, everything happening or, our wins and losses or our ranking or whatever. I think we're just understanding that a lot of us are in new positions. This is a whole new year for us. This is the most games any of us have ever played. I'm just happy to live and grow with this franchise and with this group of people.
Well, you've definitely been living your best life defensively on the court. You have so many amazing stats. I'm just going to read them off right now. So 96 total steals, which is a Storm franchise record and the third most in WNBA single season history. It's also a 33 steal advantage over second place, the largest gap in a single season in WNBA history. 38 total games with at least one steal, a single season record in the WNBA, and 28 multi-steal games. The second most in WNBA single season history. You have so many stats, I like losing my breath here. You also have a game back in June with 8 steals, a franchise record and tied for fourth most in WNBA history. You rank first in the WNBA in deflected passes at 122 and defensive win shares and wins above replacement. Now listen, when you hear all of that, I mean, you have an all-around defensive campaign for you this season. What goes through your mind when you hear those stats? And what do you think makes this season different than years past?
I don't know what kind of goes through my head. I'm just like, it's cool that some things show up statistically, but a lot of defense doesn't show up. So I admit that it does feel nice that some things are tangible. And can give me like an idea of where I'm at defensively. But I think it's just like all those things just relate to my activity. I try to really pay attention to scouting, to player tendencies, to just like all the nuances of the game that allow me to like predict the pass before it happens, know where the ball is going before it gets there. It's something that like I never expected to show up statistically, but it's kind of cool that it does.
Well, you said, the statistics show up, but there are things that don't show up statistically. Can you speak to some of those things? Because I mean, if they're not showing up, you need to tell people what you're doing out there, Gabby. Okay, we see it, but what are some of those things for you?
I think the defensive player that I try to be, especially for my teammates, is just I try to be kind of like the fixer. I try to be the person who can cover up for mistakes that we make. I try to be the person that can be versatile and allow us to, throw different looks defensively at teams because maybe we can switch more. Maybe I can guard multiple positions. Or we know we can take more risks because we have someone behind who's able to clean it up. So, yeah, I think those are things that you don't see. Also, just like forcing players into certain shots. I guess maybe that shows up on their statistics, but not necessarily yours. Or I don't know. Now they have freaking data for everything now, so maybe
yeah.
They do. But, yeah, just little things like that.
Well, you talked about your teammates, and your teammates have been a huge, supporter of what you're doing, obviously every day, but also defensively. Ezzy said she's in awe of your defense every single game. And what does it mean? She's not the only one that has said something like this. What does it mean for you to have support from your teammates like that?
especially when it comes from someone like Ezzy, someone I'm in awe of every game and what she does defensively. That means a lot just because she's like one of the greatest defensive players in the league as well. And I think there's a lot of pressure kind of being the defensive anchor on a team with already great defensive players. But I think that's also allowed me to push myself and grow this year defensively because it's put more pressure on me. You know, if I'm slacking, it's very obvious when you have a what is Skylar, 5'9"? Yeah, a 5'9" point guard who's blocking bigs. When you have Ezzy who's sending the ball into the rafters. When you have Nneka who's like the most intelligent defensive player to ever play the game. You know, so when we're playing, you have Slim who's long and athletic. So when I'm playing with all these players, it really puts pressure on me of like, okay, I can't slack around them.
Well, the team certainly has not been slacking. You guys are in a playoff push right now, obviously. What are you seeing kind of in the locker room as you go into this, these final games for these final spots that are up?
I see us just focusing on ourselves, controlling what we can control. We don't want to be the team that has to hope for something else to happen for us to be in the position that we want to be in. So I see us really focusing in on us more than ever versus focusing, like, of course, we're focusing on the opponents, but I really see us just like, what can we control? What can we do to get that playoff push?
Yeah, there's a lot going on moving into these final games. One thing that I wanted to touch on too is you have a fellow French woman on your team, Dominique Malonga, and her game has been opening up in so many different ways this season. It's been awesome to watch her grow in the W. How's it been watching her grow in this season? Like, how has she been contributing to these like key matchups as you go into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think just looking where she came from the beginning of the year and everything just being brand new for her and her being able to just be such a threat in this league so quickly. I mean, she did it within a couple months, going from being in a different country. This is also the first time that she's played technically outside of France. And just, the playing against grown women, playing against the best players in the league every single week. And now she's rising to the occasion. She has zero fear. You would have no idea she was 19 years old, a young 19 too. Her birthday's not even close to coming up. And still being able to hang like she's been in the league forever. So I'm just really proud of her. I'm proud of the work that she's putting in every day, most of all, like seeing her maturity levels as she's coming into the gym as if she was a vet, getting in here early, being the last one to leave. So I'm just really proud of her.
Yeah, I know that you're fluent in French. Has it been kind of cool to be able to kind of have both, talk to her in both languages? I know you said that you wish you could talk to everyone in both because they're kind of both in your head up there. So how's it just been having like another, I know you've played obviously with people on the French team and all of that, but just how has that been this year on the team?
It's nice having a Frenchie on the team for sure. It is nice. And then, of course, like right now we're following the European Championship. Our men's team is playing. So it's nice to have like someone to talk to that about. I know sometimes too when she's overwhelmed, like I know, okay, she needs to hear some French. Like she doesn't need 5 million things being thrown at her in English. Like, so sometimes I'm able to read the situation of when she needs it. It's nice being able to tell her things on the court and know like no one's going to understand too. So
I love that so much.
Yeah.
The season has definitely been one that has had its ups and downs, and the CBA talks have had their ups and downs too. I know that you've talked about the league's prioritization clause, and that it's very clear that the league wants to push away from other leagues. Do you think there is a way forward where both things can exist?
Yes and no. I think the direction that the league is going in, I think it's going to ultimately be similar to the men's where you only need to play one season. And I think that's the goal for everybody. I don't think we want to play both seasons, but the WNBA isn't enticing enough as far as money goes in order to keep us out of the other leagues. So, yeah, it just doesn't make sense right now to not do both for a lot of players when the league isn't paying as much as their competitors. I'll call them competitors are. So hopefully, if the league wants to continue to have everybody and keep all these players here, yeah, they're gonna have to spend the money.
How do you think overall things are going with those talks? I know we're obviously in the season, but that is something that is looming for sure.
Yeah, I think the league hopefully now understands the leverage of that we have, saying that what their competitors are paying us versus what they're paying us. So I think once the league understands that this isn't, the WNBA isn't all we have as far as options, but we do want to be here, that hopefully they will pay us what they owe us, as we've said.
Well, I know that we thank you for your time that you've given us. I know that you have a lot going on today. Before you go, I know that you have some decisions to make pretty soon. You're going to be an unrestricted free agent in 2026. What comes next for Gabby Williams?
Well, after the season, just getting my body and mind right, of course, focusing one thing at a time. And then once I'm healthy, I'll go back to Turkey and rejoin my team, Fenerbahce in Istanbul.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And thank you for just the amazing play you've been giving us. It's been amazing to watch, let me tell you. So best of luck for the rest of the season. And we'll be watching for sure,
Thank
Gabby.
you.